As you lay in your mother's arms, listening to that soft, drifting melody, you thought you were being loved, but you were actually being protected by a 4,000-year-old magic spell. Lullabies were not invented to comfort babies. They were designed as spiritual shields to ward off the first demon, Lilith, and to terrify children into a silence that meant the difference between life and death in a world of predators. The word lullaby sounds gentle, but its roots are buried in ancient fear. Many linguists and historians believe that the word comes from the Hebrew phrase Lilith Abi. Translation: Lilith, be gone. According to Mesopotamian and Jewish mythology, Lilith was a night demon who hunted infants. Legend said she was Adam's first wife who fled the Garden of Eden and spent her immortality stealing the breath of human babies to replace the children she lost. In the ancient world, infant mortality was a mystery. If a healthy baby died in the night, SIDS, they didn't have a medical explanation. They had a supernatural one. Lilith had visited the cradle. To fight back, mothers would hang amulets over the bed and chant a rhythmic, hypnotic phrase, "Lilith, go away. Lilith, be gone." Over centuries, the chant became a melody. The warning became a song. The lull was the hypnosis to put the baby to sleep, but the bye was the boundary line drawn in the air. Every time you sing a lullaby, you are unknowingly performing a spiritual security protocol designed to repel an ancient child killer. Think about the most famous lullaby in the English language, Rock-a-Bye Baby. The lyrics are a horror story. When the bough breaks, the cradle will fall, and down will come baby, cradle, and all. Why on earth would a mother sing about her child falling from a tree and potentially dying? Historically, this song is linked to several dark theories. One suggests it was written in the 17th century by a pilgrim who saw Native American mothers hanging their birch bark cradles from tree branches so the wind would rock the babies to sleep. But the break and the fall represent a deeper, darker truth of the era: fragility. In a time when nearly half of all children died before the age of 5, death was a constant hovering presence. Psychologists believe these violent lyrics served as emotional inoculation. By singing about the worst-case scenario, the cradle falling, the wolf eating the sheep, the baby never waking up, mothers were mentally preparing themselves and their children for the brutality of reality. The lullaby wasn't a promise of safety. It was a warning that safety is an illusion. This darkness isn't limited to the West. In Eastern traditions, the Dandini Dandini lullaby speaks of the Danalar, calves, entering the garden. But in the darker original versions found across the Silk Road and the Mediterranean, the animal is often a wolf or a fox. The lyrics often say, "If you don't sleep, the wolf will come. If you don't sleep, the monster will take you." This was a tactical necessity. In the ancient wilderness, a crying baby was a beacon of death. If a baby cried in a cave or a hut at night, it attracted predators, both animal and human. The mother wasn't being cruel, she was being desperate. She had to use the only weapon she had: fear. By telling the child that the wolf was waiting just outside the door, she forced the baby into a state of frozen silence. The lull was a way to paralyze the child's nervous system into sleep for their own survival. It was a trade: sleep now or be eaten. Historically, sleep was always seen as the twin brother of death, as we discussed in our sleep script. Lullabies often reflect this bridge between worlds. There is an old Icelandic lullaby called Sofdu unga ástin mín, sleep, my young love. It is hauntingly beautiful, but the lyrics describe a dark figure lurking outside the window, waiting to snatch the child. The song ends with the mother essentially telling the baby to hide in the darkness of sleep so the monster can't find them. This is the exorcism of the cradle. The mother uses the melody to create a trance state. This trance acts as a frequency jammer. If the baby is in a deep rhythmic trance, the demons of the night cannot communicate with them or entice them away. The rhythmic pat-pat motion we do on a baby's back, it mimics the heartbeat, but it also mimics the sound of a drum in a ritual. We are drum-beating the child into the underworld of sleep, where they are safe from the light. As children grow, lullabies turn into nursery rhymes, but the bloodstains remain. London Bridge is falling down. Many folklorists believe this refers to immurement, the ancient practice of burying a pure sacrifice, often a child, alive in the foundations of a bridge to keep it from collapsing. Mary, Mary, quite contrary. This is a coded history of Queen Bloody Mary and her execution of Protestants. The silver bells were thumbscrews, and the cockle shells were instruments of torture. Ba Ba Black Sheep, a protest against the medieval wool tax that impoverished the working class. We sing these to children in brightly colored nurseries. Why? Because we have sanitized the trauma. The human brain is a master at taking a horrific event and wrapping it in a catchy melody until the horror becomes a habit. We teach children the history of their own suffering, but we do it so softly that they don't realize they are singing about death until it's too late. So tonight, if you hear a mother singing a soft tune in the house next door, or if you find yourself humming a melody to a sleeping child, listen to the vibration of the notes. You are not just singing a song, you are invoking the names of forgotten gods. You are repeating a warning that is older than civilization itself. You are telling the darkness to stay on the other side of the window. The lullaby is the most beautiful lie we tell. We tell the baby that everything is fine, but we keep our eyes on the door, and we keep singing, just in case Lilith is still listening. Good night.